Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just did it.
Your Soul, a podcast of Madison Christian Church in Madison, Tennessee. We're talking about your soul and trying to figure out how to go through life well. Right now we're talking about the human will. Letter 24. You already have control. Use it.
I'm not in control of this. I had to do it.
Can we guide ourselves by thought and choice, or are we pushed around at the whims of circumstances and other people? Which is more likely to give you good outcomes? Almost everything you do, you choose to do, at least a little. But wait, what if someone holds a gun to your head? If that happens, the gun is not forcing you. It is giving you a hard choice. Do what I say or be shot. You have to decide if it is better to cooperate or to be killed. You might not like the choice, but it is your choice. Do you remember the 3 brave young men who refused to bow to the king's idol, knowing that to disobey meant being thrown into a furnace? The men didn't say, "The king made me do it on penalty of death." They made a choice, explained it to the king, and they were ready to take their punishment. You can read Daniel chapter 3 to find this story. There's more to it than I've told you. It's interesting and worth your reading. But wait, what if someone tricked you? What about the innocent child who is trapped? What about the woman who is trafficked and manipulated into believing she has no alternative? What about slaves who never see a way out? But wait, what if some future technology allows people to control your actions? If those apply to you, your body may have done the action, but your will was not fully engaged. The results still remain, but you didn't fully choose. These would be exceptions to the statement, what you do, you choose to do. Most of the time, we have our choices and we see the results. I've listed here a lot of exceptions and objections, and there are more, because most people don't want to be told you do what you choose to do. We prefer the comfort of believing that we had to do this or we couldn't do that, therefore we can't be blamed. The uncomfortable side of deciding is that we have to live with the responsibility and results of our choices. We can't have it both ways. Either we have the choice and the responsibility, or we have neither. We can't choose and then avoid the outcome. Life isn't that way. Maybe your parents neglected you, or someone traumatized you. That is terrible, wrong, and unfair. Whoever did that to you is without excuse. For a while, you can say you had a hard start in life. But after a while, you have to start taking your burden for yourself. Otherwise, you won't move forward very much. Take responsibility for your behavior, just as you want your parents or your attacker to be responsible for their behavior. From here forward, whatever you want to be in control of, you will have to stop saying, "It's not my fault" about it. Either you are in control, which means you're responsible for what happens, or else things are not under your control, in which case you are not responsible for what happens. Responsibility is the price of control. People generally need to feel they're in control of things for their own emotional well-being. I hope you can find something to be in control of. I recommend you start with something little and simple. You could plant a garden, make something, fix something, care for an animal, gain a new skill such as woodworking, music, mechanics, hunting, cooking, storytelling. There will be something appropriate for your personality and circumstances. The best way to increase the amount of control you have is to be responsible with what you have already. In particular, probably the best thing to take control of is your own actions. The Bible says, "Whoever is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city." Proverbs 16:32. Have you ever had this discussion? One person says, "Why did you do such and such?" The second person says, "I don't know, I just did it." The second person in that conversation needs to choose his actions instead of letting his actions push him around. Let's hope he learns better. Some people start bad habits out of rebellion.
Why do you have to hassle me?
My parents said I shouldn't do this.
I hate that rule.
So I'm going to do it because I hate the rule.
The rule says I shouldn't do something, or my parents said I shouldn't do something. I hate that rule, so I'm going to do it. If that's you, make sure that you don't become a slave to that activity. Such behavior is not freedom. It's a strange addiction to struggling. It controls you. Why do you need to control your behavior? For the same reason you need to control your body. If your body moves or doesn't move in ways you don't want, for example, uncontrolled bowels, that makes your life more difficult. Your soul is worth more than your bowels, isn't it? People who can't control their actions often get in several kinds of trouble. Family problems, prison, debt. People who do control their actions progress farther in this life. Self-control or self-discipline, if you gain this strength, will serve you well. You might not be responsible for the thoughts, feelings, and desires that wander into your mind, but you are responsible for what you do with them. If you can't make good choices for yourself, then you need to allow a responsible person to do so for you. Maybe they can train you to become more mature as they show you how to manage your life. Are you ready to be in control of your life? Here's the place to start. Consider your actions before doing them. Consider their outcome, then choose your actions. Start with little, achievable objectives. You can't gain in a day the strength to climb a mountain or to achieve your life goals. But this is a good place to start. Ask God to help you. His Spirit can control what you can't. Self-control is called fruit of the Spirit. See Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23.
Conquer yourself, and the world lies at your feet. Augustine of Hippo, North Africa.